Well, Ishbosheth said, yeah, we're going to make this happen.
He yoinked her out of her other marriage.
Yeah, yoinked her out of the other marriage.
And her husband was coming after her like, please don't leave me.
Right. And he got looked at and said, go home. And he did.
And he did.
No
and that's
fight.
all we know of him.
No fighting that dog at all.
He said, okay.
This week at Church 520,
Yeah.
we did some more covering of the Bible with Mr. King David. Mm-hmm. Lowercase king at this point.
Yeah.
Not uppercase, right?
Right.
But just to kind of give you background to where we're at is essentially he's king over Hebron and the tribe of Judah, and Ishbosheth is over everywhere else. And last week, after they battled, and meaning Abner and his hooligans and some of David's servants battled, they went back, and then Ishbosheth decided to accuse Abner of
Hanging out with his father's concubine.
Well, yes, but also disrespecting his father.
Yes.
In doing that, right? And he's like, yeah, right. I didn't do that. And actually got so offended that he said, I'm going to depose you now. And I'm going to go join David if he'll have me.
Sides.
And he even drafted up a covenant and sent it to David.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, if you'll have me, I am on my way.
Right.
Yeah.
And this week, we got the answer we got the answer that David gave.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So, what answer did he give?
He said, yeah. But you remember my first wife, Michael? Bring her.
Right. Right. So that was the seal the deal situation, right?
If you're serious, you bring me my first wife.
Right. And he was so serious about getting his first wife back, right? That he even sent word to Ishbosheth. Like, make this happen, Captain.
Yeah.
Right. And, well, Ishbosheth said, yeah, we're going to make this happen.
He yoinked her out of her other marriage.
Yeah, yoinked her out of the other marriage.
And her husband was coming after her like, please don't leave me.
Right. And he got looked at and said, go home. And he did.
And he did.
No
and that's
fight.
all we know of him.
No fighting that dog at all.
He said, okay.
Now, in this, Abner says something that was very, very good. Good in the sense that he sees what's going on and what's happening. Kind of bad that he's late to the party.
Right.
But essentially that he goes to all of these people and says, hey, in the past, you really wanted David to be your king. It's time for him to be your king. Not only that, but God's behind it.
Yes.
Right? And not only did he tell that to the elders of Israel, so the high-ups, he also told it to the tribe of Benjamin and to the house of David.
Right.
So here is something that's very interesting, is that Abner told it to the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Who is the tribe of Benjamin?
Saul's family.
Yep, it's Saul's relatives. And it says that they all yeah, bro, right.
They're like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, so
Same.
it's interesting that he would have that kind of influence, or that they would see that, right? Now, so how do you think it went when Abner finally got to where David was, because it was a trek
It was.
from where he was to get to David.
It went well.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Yeah. And they have a feast and a party and they break bread, right? And do the thing that they need to do.
Yeah.
And
And he makes a vow.
Well, yeah. Basically, Abner says, hey, I'm gonna like go get all these people behind you, and we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna make you king,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm going to gather all of Israel. We'll round them up. This is happening.
Yeah. Well, and interesting enough is David's like, okay, sure, go in peace.
Yeah.
Right?
He was like, oh,
it wasn't even like
thanks.
he was going with them or anything, or
He was like, you have a mission? Thank you.
Yep.
Do it.
Well, peace out, chicken sprout, right?
A chicken sprout?
You know, whatever. It's same.
Sprout. Oh, yeah. But yeah, he had his blessing.
He had his blessing, so he goes off. Now, here's the thing. Joab
Joab.
was coming back. And remind us who Joab is.
He is the brother of Asael, who Abner killed because he wouldn't stop chasing him from like a couple weeks ago.
Well, I mean, it's a bit more than just he wouldn't stop chasing him.
Well, yes, he was,
It was
never
an
looking
intent to kill.
He
Right.
And he was like, bro, I don't want to have to look at your brother, Joab, and say that I've killed his brother. So please stop. And he didn't.
Right. But he didn't stop. So,
Yeah.
Joab was like, he heard that Abner had come and that he had went in peace because he wasn't there right at the moment. But when he got back, and he's like, "Say what?" And was all up in arms about it. Actually, has somebody chase down Abner, bring him back, and he meets him at the city gates of Hebron. Right? Didn't even fully get into the city, and he's doing this while David doesn't know.
Right.
Right? So he's kind of being shady about everything. Right?
Takes him like off to the side.
So he takes him off to the side
Let me
for
talk at you real quick.
a private conversation
Right.
at the city gate. And he went all Stabby McStabberson on him.
He did.
So,
He did. He killed him.
and the thing is he killed him, right? But we all know that it's for retaliation of what he did to his brother. But what did he tell David when he was upset with him? Like, why did you let him go in peace before this? He's like, how do you know he's going to do what he says he's going to do?
Right.
Right? He kind of plays it off like he's going to do these bad things.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, he wasn't on your side before. So how do you know he's going to do all these things? Why'd you let him go in peace? David's
Right.
like, okay, I see you.
Right. Well, and if you've been following with us, we can see a lot where David gives the benefit of the doubt on everything, right? Even though Saul had tried to kill him multiple times.
He's like,
right?
maybe this time he won't.
He even said after he was dead, he was a great man,
Yeah.
right? So he definitely gives benefit of the doubt, but Joab wasn't having it.
He was not.
And he made sure that Abner was no more, right?
Yeah.
And when David finally found out about this, what did he do again?
Oh, he tore his clothes again.
Yep, he did. He tore his clothes.
Dude was traveling. He probably didn't have that many. What, he's got like an outfit left in his closet?
Well, he's been in Hebron for a while.
Just saying. Limited
No,
supply.
yeah.
Maybe they're just really fast at weaving and stuff. I love that for them. But I would be sad if I made this really nice thing and somebody was just like, I'm angry. I'd be like, take it off.
You would be like, He tears his clothes one more time.
I know. I'm like, somebody put snaps on this so we can put it back together when he tears it off. Anybody have some Velcro?
Right. But so he mourned and he sang another song. Right. And he also refused to eat.
That's right.
While he was sad. He's like, nope, I'm fasting mourning. Like, not going to do this. And he did something that most people in power don't do. What did he do?
He said, I'm sad. And I've been made weak by this.
Yeah, he admitted to weakness and sadness, which is not something that doesn't happen very often when it comes to people in leadership and power when it comes to that.
Right.
Right. So, some key takeaways.
Wait, did we talk about what David said? Isn't there?
Well, he did say
like
to the Joab and
the curse of Joab,
his brother, that this blood is on their hands. It wasn't my fault.
But it was also like,
and
you're gonna have someone in your family line at all times is going to have leprosy or weeping of pussy things or can't walk right or what else? Like just a bunch of stuff. He was like, for the rest of your generations, someone will be afflicted.
Yep.
I don't think these people need to remember, you just can't go up against God and think that you're gonna win.
Right. And
even if it's a like temporary win, you're not gonna win for long.
Well, and also, like, we'll get to it, in our key applications, but it's a big reminder that it's almost like David could see that the battle wasn't against the flesh that was in front of him. It was against other things.
Yeah.
Right? So he, from what we see in the Bible, doesn't hold grudges like that. Even with Saul.
Yeah.
Like, he went back to him time and time again. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say anything about it in the Bible, but you would think that
going to saturate that place with your absence if you were feeling some kind of way. Which he did at times, but then he seemed to keep going back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, Joab and his bro definitely did not do well for their family.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So, some key takeaways that we got this week was, one, don't be led by emotions.
Right.
Right? And that's not to say to not have emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely not that emotions are bad or don't have them.
But just don't be led by them. And we took a look at the verse in Ecclesiastes where it talks about there's a time for everything.
Right.
Including mourning and all of those things. That it's good. You should take time to do that and mourn and get your emotions out.
Yeah.
But then also there's a time to like get after it. Right? So also in Proverbs and in Colossians, it's just another thing of don't let your emotions guide you. Right? Because they're gonna get you in some hot water.
They can.
Some bad ways. Right?
They can.
Well, if you think about it, in the Colossians one is talking about putting away malice and all this other things. It's all those emotions that are driven by the flesh that will get you in a bad way.
Yeah.
Right? And oftentimes if you give way to the emotions, it goes to that fleshly, sinful place.
Correct.
So, you're not to be led by them. It's not a bad thing to have, right? Because even joy and happiness comes from God, right? So, it's not saying that emotions are bad and they should never happen, or we should be so stoic,
I mean,
right?
it even says, like, be angry. Just don't sin in your anger.
Right.
Like, it's have the emotion. Just make sure that while you're in it, you're not sinning. Whether it
Right.
be anger or joy or sadness or
Right.
whatever.
So, and then the other key takeaway, because we only had 2 this week, was forgive others, right? And it goes back to what we talked about last week of like making sure that as much as it's on you, live peaceably among people.
Yeah.
But also, just like David, time and time again, we are to forgive, right? And it doesn't say forget, right? It says forgive, but then also in the verses that we looked at, it says admonish one another. We are to teach, right? If there has been a slight or something that comes against one another, we are to teach and to bring that other person along so they can grow in Christ, so that they can be in better standing with everybody, but also glorify God in their actions. Right? So, and that's something that seemed to be one of David's things,
Yeah.
right? Because time and time again, going back to Saul, and even after Abner had like battled his people and come after him and was with Saul when he was chasing David and all this stuff, he still said, a prince and a great man died today, right? Now, prince doesn't mean next in line for the throne in this particular thing. It just means somebody in authority, right? And he could have just said a person of great authority died today, but no, he said, and a great man. So he valued Abner, even though they were foes for quite some time.
Right.
So, and that's just something that we got to figure out as a body of Christ, is not holding those grudges and figuring out how to forgive, to move on, so that somebody else's sin doesn't cause us to get to that bitterness spot,
Right.
causing us to sin and not being honoring to God.
Yeah.
So it was a good lesson.
It
Good
was
week.
a good lesson.
So, and then we got to watch a poor excuse for a football game.
We got to watch someone win and someone not.
And we had some good tailgatey food.
We did.
And got to hang out with everybody. It was really nice just to hang out with everybody, play games, and just kind of chill and just do life together.
Yeah.
And that's something that we aim to do every week.
Yeah.
So
It was fantastic.
with that, if you learned something, you picked up something, go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, hit it twice or 3 times. And
Just in case.
subscribe if you would like to continue to learn about characters in the Bible. Also, comment down below if there's a question that you've got burning in your brain that you would like to know. We'd love to look that up, work it through, and talk to you about it. And with that, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.